Paul Bissonnette, a.k.a. Biznasty, a.k.a. Biznasty 2.0. Are you with us? Yeah.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up? I wanted to do like Connor McDavid injury, Shea Weber injury, Pacific Division tighter than Sixero's wallet, but I need to start somewhere else. Waste Management Open.
Oh, man.
What the hell? Better moment getting a hack at 16 or pouring Pink Whitney all over people's faces, and that's a vodka.
Always the wallet. So the branding, it was key. But
yeah,
they talked about it before the round started that I might get a whack at it, but I didn't think I was going to get to do it. So my nerves weren't exactly where they probably should have been. There's another look at it. Short backswing. Keep in mind that that was my first swing of the day right there. And here comes my second. So about a quarter clapper Shea Weber bomb right there. And I was about a foot off the green, so not too bad. But they're ruthless there. They still booed me because I didn't hit the green.
How many people are sitting around? Like, do you have a guesstimate of how many people are watching your half clapper from 150?
That was on the Wednesday, so that's during the Pro-Am. I would probably say, I don't know, maybe 20,000 people, which is still a lot. Maybe a little bit less, but just an unbelievable atmosphere. I don't know how many people watching have done it, but I would recommend it for like a boys' bachelor weekend. You get to experience the golf course. You can do the bird's nest afterward where they have a bunch of entertainment. I believe OAR's played there this year. They had Kygo there, and then that's on the walk up to the green. You know, everybody's just in party mode. So I was just, spreading some viruses around by hitting people's lips. And I had a little bit of hate after posting that one because of everything that's going down with the coronavirus. But I think everybody was all right.
All right, like take it easy. The guy's just pouring drinks for people, and someone's going to throw coronavirus.
Nice little free pour.
Yeah, come on.
Hey, just trying to keep everybody hydrated.
Yeah, of course.
We did see in that first clip quite a few divots in your vicinity. I don't know if those are all yours. Was the grounds crew upset at your work?
Well, Shane Doan actually went before me. Those are probably all his. But as you can see, mine was pretty crisp coming off there. And from what I hear, though, the shorter the backswing, the less problems. So I figured let's just keep it very simple. And it's been a while since I hit a yoga class, so my T-spine ain't exactly where it needs to be.
That's a very Tim McAuliffe swing. I'm not gonna lie. When you keep it simple, right? Like don't try and bring the big backswing. That's when it drifts off into the crowd in front.
Hey, we're talking too much. We're talking too much golf right now. All these hockey fanatics aren't going to be happy about that.
Let's get to the hockey then. All right. A guy who knows a little bit about the Arizona Coyotes because of your role with the team. Hasn't gone all that well over the last little while, but could the win in Montreal kind of bring a different team to Toronto tonight?
I hope so. I mean, there's a correlation here, okay? So Darcy Kemper ended up getting hurt.
Yeah.
Halsey came in, I believe, shortly thereafter. Halsey's been incredible since he's came over. I think he's just at a point a game. To me, he's probably been one of the most consistent forwards up front, maybe other than Connor Garland, but he has not been the problem. I think there maybe a little bit too much of individualism, has crept into the Coyotes lineup. And at the start of the year, I feel like they were playing better team defense. And of course, when the big saves were needed, Darcy Kemper was there to have them. I thought Ronta's been progressively getting better and obviously dealing with his own injuries in the meantime. He's been very accountable as far as maybe some squeakers he's let by. And it just seems as if though it's been a little bit of something as far as the problems are concerned with the Coyotes over this last maybe 5 to 6 weeks. Although hopefully, as you mentioned, that win and big win it was, comeback win in Montreal, hopefully gets them on a little bit of a roll here. I know they're going up against a Toronto team who apparently is battling a little bit of the flu bug in that locker room. Jack Campbell's going to be making his third straight start for the Leafs. He's 1-0-1. And just to jump into Campbell quickly, an unbelievable guy. I played with this guy with the Ontario Reign. Very, very strong work ethic. I know how hard and nerve-wracking it could probably be to go into a very hostile environment like Toronto, especially given the fact that there is a lot of external pressure coming in on this team to make playoffs, given all these salaries that have been given out. give the guy a little bit of time. I think the fans there will really enjoy him. Same with Kyle Clifford. I think he's going to help, bring a different element to that lineup. Now, saying that, they're going against the big bad Coyotes tonight. I don't know when exactly this is dropping or if it's live. I'm hoping that, for everyone's sake, a nice overtime win for the Coyotes, and everyone can go home happy.
I feel like I should tell you that we're live just in case, but that's a story for a different day.
Or not tell you.
Yeah.
Well, you might get an F-bomb then.
Yeah, well,
So
no.
now I know I'll dial it in.
No. I'm not saying you basically predicted this on Chicklets, but I'm guessing you like the deal to get Clifford and Campbell.
Listen, I don't know how it's going to pan out. I'm just a firm believer, and it's nice to give those other skill guys a little bit of breathing room and the luxury of knowing that if someone were to take a liberty, that they have someone now who can address it. I wouldn't put Kyle Clifford in I guess maybe I could put him in the Tom Wilson range. I wouldn't put him in the Ryan Reeves category of toughness, but definitely a guy who's been there. He knows what it takes. He can contribute in a very limited role. And hey, even if he isn't able to contribute, and maybe they do have him as the extra guy out if things get rolling for them, he's not going to be a guy in the locker room who's bringing the mood down. He's going to be the guy after the game who's giving everybody the knuckles, who's making sure everybody's doing all right, who's handing out the shakes and keeping the morale high. So I feel like analytically, and maybe where the game is moved, is there's a lot of people who are critical of that role. I still see a very strong need for it, and especially talking to guys that have been on St. Louis and been on the Washingtons and been on the Boston Bruins and even the Golden Knights. So the teams that have gone deep recently, they appreciate that role. So who are really the analytical guys, or the people who kind of roll their eyes, who don't really maybe see a need for that type of role? Where it's like, well, if I'm hearing it from the guys who are getting the job done at the highest level, why do you get to roll your eyes? Have never been in that situation. So I'm just coming from a little bit of the old school mentality where I'm able to see both sides of it, but I really like the move for the Leafs.
The guy who made the move was the young face of the analytical movement, Kyle Dubas. Did it surprise you that Kyle specifically went out and made this move?
No, because I really like him and how it's kind of an open conversation with him. He's not stubborn. He's willing to sit guys down and have the conversation, and maybe that's something that inside the locker room with the new coach who came up from the AHL with Keith, maybe he's like, listen, I think that it wouldn't hurt. And this might have been a situation where they were able to address it without having to add much to what they gave up in return for getting Campbell. You're getting a guy who's a very solid, I would say he's a very solid backup goaltender, and you have him locked in for 2 more years. So it's one of those situations where if they were able to get him as a throw-in, to me, it adds to his genius if it ends up panning out. If not, I don't think he should be criticized for getting it as basically a throw-in for what he gave up.
Crazy part is Clifford is kind of an analytic darling. I know that a lot of people think that because he brings some sandpaper to the game,
Right.
he is kind of an analytic darling. Listen, I know you watch a lot of the Pacific Division, and I needed to get your opinion on this. Like, what does a Connor McDavid injury do to the Oilers and maybe the tightest division we've ever seen in hockey?
Well, this is coming from a guy who is clearly rooting for a team that's, well, we're in a wild card, but we're on the outside looking in as far as division leaders, but not by much. It just hurts the game overall when this guy's not in it. And recently when we were at the All-Star game, we had his parents and his friend who acts as his business manager agent, Adam. And I was just picking his brain, and I love Connor to begin with, and I always love the guys who are so selfless with their time, their energy, and everything really about him is he dedicates to the game for our fan enjoyment. And he was touching on the fact that everything that he does, and a lot of the time, is mimicking what Sid did. And that's why, I mean, you guys know I'm like the biggest Sidney Crosby fan because I got to watch it firsthand at just how consumed they are about their overall product on the ice. And I wouldn't be able to do that at that age. I mean, mind you, Connor has entered the social media realm, although you could kind of tell he'd much rather just focus on hockey. But that's just the new wave, so he's kind of added that to his bag. But to see him injured like this, and specifically the amount of time he's lost over his young career so far, it sucks. I hope moving forward that we don't have to deal with this kid out of the lineup, because it's just going to continue to grow the game and help a franchise and a fan base that I sympathize for, considering what they've gone through over the last decade.
Yeah, or more.
So the journalist in me wants to get your best Sedin brothers story, but the reality TV lover in me wants you to break down The Bachelor for me. I need the breakdown.
Versus Bachelor.
I'll let you choose.
I'll go quickly on The Bachelor, and it's amazing that this is, taking energy away from me. But how overproduced and how ridiculous this season has gone, it's turned me off quite a bit.
Talk to me.
I didn't watch the show that early on, but even though just over the course of the last 3 years, it's really gotten pathetic. They get all these pageant girls and they're fit for a straitjacket. That's exactly where they target to, and you know it. They go right for the pageants. These girls have a bit of a screw loose, and this is coming from a guy with a screw loose, mind you. And I guess it makes for entertaining television, but I've gotten a little bit annoyed, and I feel like it's turned a lot of people off of it. Now, what was the other question?
Best story about the Sedins.
I have an insane story about their last game that I can't share in here because it would put a lot of people in jeopardy. It doesn't really have to involve him.
Can't tease us like that, yeah.
Oh, dude.
No, I trust you, honestly.
You want to pay for the legal work?
No,
then we can talk.
We're live, and I know I trust you when you say that.
But it doesn't. It wouldn't involve them directly. It was just about their last game. Now, I guess I could talk about their last game in firsthand, where it was really nice to see the impact that they had in the organization firsthand from having not really paid attention that closely to it. Just the last game, every single TV timeout, the entire crowd would get up and they would be giving a standing O. And it was amazing how just the coaches kept putting him out there for those shifts. And it couldn't have worked out more perfectly that I believe it was Henrik who ended up scoring the OT winner, correct?
I think so.
And then it was assisted by Daniel, and it was in overtime. And it was just a very special night. And for some guys who I guess took some media abuse throughout their career about being soft and just never really fired back. They just always stayed classy. And once again, coming from a guy who argues with people online every day and will really cuss off anyone, I really respect guys who are able to take their lickings yet stay so classy throughout their entire career. So that's just a testament to those guys and the impact they had in that community in Vancouver.
Yeah, flip the script. Daniel scored that game winner, but I understand the point. Yeah,
that's a nice tribute, but we all wanted the not safe for work story.
I don't know if we wanted.
I mean,
I like my show. You're a guest host.
That's
you can't say that on the show with Tim and Sid on it.
Okay,
because I know we might have gotten some trouble.
Okay,
hey,
quickly before you go, Madison Kelsey, Hannah Ann, or Victoria F. Who is getting proposed
Wow,
to?
you're really dialed into the back.
He is.
I could give you ages. I mean, Kelsey's 28. She's the veteran of the group.
He loves it.
I was surprised they let Kelly go. Natasha, to me, was there for the right reasons. Who's winning it?
I really like Hannah Ann at this point.
It's true.
I will say I like the maturity of Kelly, and she called him out exactly for what he was. She was like, you're feeding into this drama, and I just really think I'm past the stage in my life where what you're trying to attract. And I liked Kelly, and the fact that she's a lawyer. I mean, she's going to be pulling up her socks. You're going to probably get the vacation a little bit nicer. Although I'm sure the girl he picks is going to turn into some Instagram model that's turning swipe up for $15K a pop.
See, this is why I'm shaded by the fact that I have a daughter. I can't listen to this. I can't even watch that show because I have a daughter.
Hey, listen.
They need to aspire to much more.
This is not
Just
even
don't put her in the pageant.
I would rather have Christine Sinclair, Cassie Campbell as my daughter than Beth to Electric Boogaloo.
One quick plug though. I'll be going to the Women's World Championships in Halifax.
Oh, nice.
I believe they are end of March to the beginning of April. I've really been trying to pump women's hockey. I think they really need a boost from all of us. I think that these women should be able to live out their dreams not only on the international stage, but also in some form of pro league where I think there's a formula for it. And these young girls need somebody to look up to. And I think that us men should try to help with that platform.
I agree. 48 days until puck drop. Truro, Nova Scotia, and Halifax, Nova Scotia, the Women's World Hockey Championships. Completely agree. Always like when you drop by.
Love you guys. Yeah, I love the guest host, too.
All right. There you go. Thanks, Paul.